Part 1. If you never look back, you're missing the most important thing. Imagine you're running along a forest trail. You run every day, every hour, without stopping. You're exhausted, but you keep going. And then one day, you pause, gasping for breath, turn around, and realize you've been running the wrong way. We often assume that success means always moving forward, doing more, pushing harder, going faster. But the truth is, not everyone who's busy is making progress. And not everyone who keeps moving forward is heading in the right direction. Heavy exclamation mark symbol. Why don't most people ever stop to look back? Because they're afraid to face their mistakes. Because they don't want to remember where they failed. Or simply because they were never taught how to reflect. In a world that worships speed, we get swept into a cycle of mobile phone, the latest headlines, chart with upward trend performance metrics, outbox tray, the next big plan. We always ask, what's next? But we rarely ask, why did I start this in the first place? Bullseye, what's the result? When you never look back, you repeat poor decisions. You misjudge what really matters. You miss opportunities to learn from your own experiences. Like someone who keeps switching jobs to find their passion, but never actually stops to reflect. What drained my motivation? What made it so hard to stay committed? Electric light bulb. You don't need to live a perfect life. But you do need a moment to pause and ask yourself, why am I doing this? What have I learned from the journey so far? That's not weakness. That's wisdom. Part 2. The true power of reflection, the secret behind real growth. We are living in a strange era. An age where information is endless. But understanding is scarce. We constantly do, but rarely pause to think. We collect experiences, but rarely digest them. Electric light bulb reflection isn't about living in the past. It's about learning from the past to change your future. Imagine this. Someone learns a new skill every month. They attend workshops, read books, take online courses. Yet after 6 months, they still repeat the same mistakes at work, in relationships, and emotionally. Why? Not because they lack knowledge, but because they lack reflection. They haven't taken time to stop and ask, what have I actually applied from what I've learned? Why did I fail in that situation? Is there a lesson I've been missing? Left pointing magnifying glass. The difference in those who grow quickly. People who grow sustainably aren't necessarily doing more than you. They're just thinking more deeply about what they do. They have the habit of asking questions after every failure. Reviewing their week. Where did I improve? What was missing? Writing down thoughts, feelings, and decisions to better understand themselves over time. This is what turns experience into wisdom. Pushpin. What does science say? According to a study from Harvard Business School, people who spent just 15 minutes a day reflecting on their work performed 23% better after 10 days compared to those who just kept working without pause. Chart with upward trend. Why? Because reflection helps you recognize what works and what doesn't. Adjust your direction in time, instead of blindly pushing forward. Retain knowledge better, understand deeper, and act more precisely. Sparkle's reflection doesn't require you to be a monk. It just requires the courage to look inward. That's why people who reflect often make calmer decisions. They're not easily swayed by short-term emotions. They know what to hold on to and what to let go of. White heavy checkmark. A relatable example. You had an argument with a friend. At that moment, you felt you were right. But later that evening, you sit down and ask yourself, did I really listen to them? Was I defending my point or just protecting my ego? It's in these small moments that you begin to grow, little by little. No one expects you to be perfect. But if you know how to pause and understand yourself, you won't stay trapped in the same loops anymore. Part 3. How to turn reflection into a powerful habit. Now that you understand the power of reflection, the next question is: White right pointing backhand index, how do you turn it into a sustainable habit that doesn't fade away over time? The answer isn't about spending hours each day. It's about how you simplify and maintain the practice consistently. Hammer and wrench # Step 1. Create space for reflection. You can't reflect if you're constantly interrupted. So carve out a quiet space, even just 10 to 15 minutes a day. It could be after finishing work, before going to bed, or a fixed time every Sunday. It doesn't have to be a special place, just make sure. No phone. No calls. No distractions. That's your golden time for your brain to pause, reconnect, and realign. Step 2. Use open-ended questions to go deeper. One of the most effective ways to reflect is through journaling with open-ended prompts. Here are a few you can use daily. What did I learn today? What am I most proud of today? Was there something I didn't do well? Why? What was the strongest emotion I felt? Where did it come from? Writing these down doesn't just help you understand yourself better. It lets you visibly track your growth over time. Tear off calendar. Step 3. Do a weekly review to course correct. Don't just reflect daily, review your week. At the end of each week, spend 30 minutes to look back at what went well. Identify what's been stressing or worrying you. Ask, am I still on the right track? Save these in a Google Doc or a personal notebook. After 1 month, you'll be amazed reading back your own thoughts. After a year, you won't even recognize the version of you from last year. Electric light bulb bonus tip: record yourself instead of writing. If you're not into journaling or writing feels like a chore, use your phone to record your voice daily. Speaking out loud is also a form of reflection. It helps you organize your thoughts and release emotions more clearly. White heavy checkmark tips to make reflection stick. Start with just 5 minutes a day. Tie it to an existing habit, e.g., after brushing your teeth at night. Don't force depth, just be honest. If you miss a day or two, don't quit, just come back to it. Bullseye: someone who writes just 3 short sentences a day, after a year, has a treasure chest of insights, lessons, and growth. Reflection doesn't need you to be perfect. It just needs you to begin. Part 4. Reflect to break through, turning reflection into your personal growth engine. Here's a truth that rarely gets talked about. Many people try harder every day, but never truly feel like they're making progress. They read books. They learn new skills. They work hard. But they keep repeating the same mistakes. Still feel lost, drained, and full of self-doubt. The problem isn't laziness. And it's not a lack of ability. White right pointing backhand index, it's because they're not reflecting the right way. They keep doing, but have no idea why they're doing it. They keep moving forward, but with no map, no compass. Bullseye reflection is that map. It's how you scan the path you've taken to see where you're heading off course. What's draining your time? And what's actually helping you grow? Explosion symbol: reflection doesn't slow you down. It helps you move faster. Imagine walking through a maze. If you don't stop to look from above, you'll keep going in circles, wasting energy, and losing motivation. But if you reflect, you begin to notice repeating patterns. You recognize the emotional traps you fall into. You know when to move forward and when to pause. White heavy checkmark: how truly successful people use reflection. They don't wait until things go wrong to look back. They check in with themselves every day. They don't just review results, they reflect on their decision-making process. They ask, why did I choose that? Was I driven by emotion? They don't use reflection to blame themselves, but to adjust course. Gently. Honestly. Always improving. Fire: they turn every experience into life capital. They might fail, but never in the same way. Because they extract lessons. And they take action differently next time. Pushpin: this is more practical than you think. A successful entrepreneur isn't necessarily smarter than you. A great leader doesn't always work harder than you. They're just different in one key way. White right pointing back hand index: they ask themselves the right questions, at the right time. Every day, they reflect. What am I really focusing on? Is this taking me closer to my goal? What do today's emotions reveal about my internal limits? Seedling: real growth begins when you stop avoiding yourself. Growth isn't about more degrees, skills, or achievements. It's when you have the courage to face your own weaknesses. And instead of avoiding them, you learn from them and rise above them. Others might call you strong, but only you will know. White right pointing back hand index: you are strong because you understand yourself, not because you never fall. Sparkles: so when you reflect, you're not just improving. You're upgrading your entire operating system. You don't just become more effective. You live with more meaning. You don't just know what to do. You know why you're doing it. And when this becomes a part of your lifestyle, you'll start to see past decisions that once brought regret now become valuable resources. Mistakes won't wound you as deeply, they'll teach you about your boundaries. You won't seek external validation anymore, because your inner clarity fuels true confidence. Megaphone: and here's the most powerful message. If you want to grow fast, reflect deeply. If you want to go far, understand yourself. If you want to stay strong, face yourself every single day. Part 5: Turning reflection into a daily life asset. Bullseye: here's a common misconception. Many people think reflection is something profound, only for those with lots of free time, or people in leadership, or entrepreneurs. But the truth is, anyone can and should reflect. And the best part? It can be woven into the tiniest corners of everyday life. White heavy checkmark: you don't need hours each day. You just need to reconnect with yourself in small, meaningful moments. After a meeting, ask, what made me uncomfortable? At the end of your workday, ask, what am I proud of today? After scrolling social media and feeling uneasy, ask, where is this feeling coming from? Pushpin: every emotion is data. Every repeated behavior is a signal. Every situation is an opportunity to understand yourself better. You don't need to meditate in a remote forest. You just need to stay mindful in daily life. One small but powerful habit. Before bed each night, ask yourself these 3 questions. What did I learn today? What am I most grateful for today? If I could do one thing differently, what would it be? That's all it takes. After 30 days, you'll live with greater clarity. No need for loud personal development slogans. Just quiet, inner transformation from the inside out. Firepower lies in consistency. Someone who meditates for 10 minutes a day for a year will have a clearer mind than someone who takes hundreds of self-help courses without ever pausing to reflect. Someone who writes just 3 lines each night for 3 months will have deeper self-awareness than someone who writes an entire book but never puts it into practice. Sparkle's personal growth doesn't start with a grand event. It begins with one small action, repeated consistently. Reflection is the rearview mirror of life. You can't drive safely by only looking ahead. You need to look back now and then. To avoid wrong turns. To prevent crashes. And to better understand the road you've already traveled. Final part, go further by learning to look back. You don't need to do more than others. You don't need to run faster. And you definitely don't need to become perfect by tomorrow. White right pointing back hand index: you only need one thing. Take time to reflect, honestly and consistently. Because here's the truth. Those who understand themselves always move faster than those who just copy others. Those who dare to listen to their true emotions stand stronger than those who only try to appear tough. And those who know how to reflect at the right moment are the ones who regret the least. Seedling: you don't need to wait until you're ready. Just 10 minutes each night. Just 3 honest questions. Just a little patience to truly listen to yourself. And you'll be surprised at what you begin to see. About yourself. About how you're really living. And about who you're truly capable of becoming. Key: a few years from now, when you look back, you won't remember every decision. You won't recall all your goals. But you will clearly see. You've changed, not through magic, but through every quiet moment you pause to understand yourself. Bullseye reflection isn't a pause. It's the power to grow with clarity. Don't just live. Understand how you're living. Don't just keep going. Know why you're moving forward. White right pointing backhand index if this video resonated with something inside you. Leave a comment below. I will start reflecting daily. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone you know who also needs to pause to go further.